There are some very big tyre tracks through here this morning. The width of a small vehicle, not a motorbike. So whether it's machinery they've had in for the trails, or whether somebody's had a quad up here. Oh look, somebody's ripped the sign down that says no motorbikes. Well, that's not a motorbike. Nothing's sacred anymore. Yeah, some bellends had a fucking quad bike down here, look. Over the jumps, destroyed half the top of the table. Absolute wankers. All the hard work that goes into maintaining these. Destroyed in an instant by fucking morons. That's why the police response unit's there. That's what them bikes are in. Maybe a bit too late. Maybe them tyre tracks are fresh. I haven't been up all week, so I can't say for sure, but they still look like they're fairly recent. Maybe as much as this morning. Maybe that's why they're out. Let's hope we catch the bastards. That's the state of this world we live in. No respect for people, property, or for anything. Which probably leads me into nicely talking about my most popular video to date, which has gone, certainly for me, a little bit viral. 200,000 plus views on the idiots walking on the blue trail. I think what's quite clear is if you want a video to take off and get loads of views and traction, you need to piss people off. Anything that sparks a bit of controversy, anything that sparks a debate, people are all over it, particularly the lefties. A lot of people commenting on the video, but clearly don't know what they're talking about and are just jumping on the bandwagon. I've left every single comment on there, good and bad, and what's quite clear is the vast majority of negativity is coming from American and Canadian viewers, which are normally in a very small minority on my channel, but for whatever reason the Americans are loving getting stuck in with the comments. I've been called everything from a pig to a dog to a Karen, and you could quite easily rise to it, you could quite easily be offended by it and upset by it. All I've done is keep poking the bear. Every time I get a negative comment, I respond with something funny in the main, and that seems to be keeping the debate alive. So whilst it might have pissed a few people off in terms of the viewing, it's been absolutely fantastic. Maybe I need to be the Charlie Veach of the mountain bike world and just go around and piss people off. That was never the intention. The intention was to highlight the stupidity of people reading a sign that says not advised for pedestrians on a predominantly mountain bike trail. Yes, I'm fully aware it means you can't stop them. I'm fully aware now of the law regarding where people can and can't walk, but it's not about that. Just because somebody or something says you can doesn't mean that you should. And the analogy of taking your kids for a walk on the motorway was, in my opinion, a great example. Some people took it literally and began reminding me that it's against the law to walk on the motorway. No shit, Sherlock, you don't say. It was a comedy comment, but we live in a sort of world now where Everybody gets offended by the tiniest little things. People being arrested at the airport for putting a post on social media. People being in jail for about a year because they've posted a tweet or they've posted something on Facebook. What an absolute fucking joke of a world we live in. That sort of shit does rile me up. And it's the same type of people, it's the same lefty do-gooders. So this is a fire road. Nice and wide, plenty of room. Dogs, walkers, pushchairs, runners, riders, and everything else in between. It's also a link-up part of the Blue Route. This trail is also part of the Blue Route. Blue Moderate. Suitable for intermediate cyclists, mountain bikers with basic off-road skills, mountain bikes or hybrids. Doesn't say for dogs, for pushchairs, for walkers or anything else. There's a bike logo, and there's another bike logo, and there's a picture of a man crossed out. Yes, it says not advised for pedestrians. Legally, you can't stop pedestrians walking on here. Trail surface may include small obstacles. Ride safely. Wear a helmet and clothing suitable for the weather. Expect to encounter other forest users and occasional forest vehicles. That's a bike. That's a bike. A lot of people have looked at this and thought this is just a path in the woods. Which it is, but it's a path that's been made by trail builders and it's an official part of the Blue Route. That's a berm. That's designed to keep the speed. This trail is intended for riding fast. Hence the berms all the way down to the bottom, which makes this trail so much fun. Yes, you can legally walk down here, but the signage advises against it. Anybody surely with an ounce of brain cell can see the logic in why it's not advisable for pedestrians. Yet every man and the dog's arguing the case. Let other people walk on here, they've got every right to be on here as much as you have. Yes, they have, and we can't stop them. It's not about that, otherwise it would say prohibited, not allowed. That's a stronger warning, as they are allowed to use for legal reasons. Otherwise it would be more clear. That's perfectly clear in my head, and it's perfectly clear in most people that have got common sense. The argument most people are staking is that it's a trail in the woods and people can ride where they want. What's it got to do with you? Stop sticking your nose in. My whole reason for pointing out to the people with the pushchair and the dogs and the small kids was that this is a bike track and there are dangers, and there's a very high risk of you being hit from behind by a bike travelling at speed, or a number of bikes. Nothing to do with the fact that there were some young kids on there. I'm all for that. But if parents want to take the kids out on a bike, they should have a bike with them. That's what any responsible parent would do, surely. And when they're confident, when they've ridden the green route and they can ride safely, let them ride down here all day long. I have no problem with kids being on this trail. I'll slow down for anybody, whether they're young, old, first time rider or whatever. That's not what this is about. This video was about people having seen the sign, having took the time to read it and look at the things that I've just read out to you, and still decide that actually I'm still going to take that risk and I'm going to put my family in danger with a young baby in a pram and a dog off the lead and two very small children and some grown-up adults, and I'm going to put people in a risk situation that they didn't need to be in because I can. And people can't see that. All people have seen is nothing to do with you. You can't stop people. You don't own the trails. I've never said I own the trails. Give me a perfect valid reason why any sane person would take their family and put them in danger just because they can. I don't see it. I can't understand it. Many people can't understand it. A lot of people that are commenting in the video, and I'm all for that because it's absolutely brilliant. It's done the video wonders. Keep it going all day long for me. But don't expect me to change my view on the fact that there is a serious lack of common sense for anybody that makes a decision to say, I'm going to walk my kids down there, knowing the risks. If they hadn't read the sign and they were oblivious and they just wandered off track, absolutely no problem whatsoever. But watch the video, listen to the guy mumbling as I ride off when I said, get hit then. Because basically that's what's going to happen. If you're walking down there, looking at where you're going, it's not an easy path to walk down because of the berms. Before you know it, a bike will be on you. And if a bike hits you at 20-30 mile an hour, it's going to do some damage, not only to you, but to the bike and the rider as well. That was the point in saying something. Not to say I'm a Karen, not to say that I'm this or I'm that. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I'm very, very courteous to the vast majority of people. I've got all the time in the world for young kids, younger riders. That's not what this is about at all. That's the assumption that you've made from watching a 1-minute video and reading the thousands of comments that have been put on that are all saying this, that and the other. So thanks very much. The video's doing extremely well. Please keep the comments and the abuse going. But I thought I'd just add a little bit of context for anybody that's struggling with a common sense element. And maybe there were some bits missing out of the video that maybe wouldn't have made it as popular as it is, because they point out very, very clearly that this is a mountain bike trail or a cycle trail, whatever you want to call it. But it's predominantly for bikes. It's not predominantly for walkers. Yes, you can walk on it all day long, upside down, back to front, inside out, do whatever you want. But the warning signs are there for your protection and other people using the trail. If you are stupid enough to ignore those signs, in my opinion, you are a complete idiot and a moron. Unless somebody convinces me otherwise. And I've read every single comment and I've replied to the vast majority of them. And nobody has convinced me that what they are saying is right, apart from the few people that have pointed out the legalities and the Country Highways Act, or whatever it's called, CRO. I understand all that and I take that feedback on board, and I totally get that, and I get where the forestry are at in terms of what they can and can't do in terms of governing the trails. But that's not what this is about. This is about people and their stupidity. Let me know in the comments below. Call me what you like. It's water off a duck's back. I'm not going to go home and lose any sleep over it. I'm not going to go home and cry. I don't need to go and see a therapist, thank you very much. But lots of people have offered me mental health advice. Lots of people have told me that there's something wrong with me and I need to get help. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's very entertaining. Keep it going. Let's get it to 250,000 and beyond. Maybe then I can afford a new bike. Cheers for watching. Let's have a ride down this lovely path built for pushchairs and prams and dogs. You can proper rail your pushchair down there.